the sets E and F, and we define a function by its expression. F of x equals x squared plus 3. So how to calculate f of minus 2? F of minus 2, it means x equal minus 2. We substitute x by minus 2. How to calculate f of 3? We put x equal 3 and so on. Why f of 8 is not defined? Because if we substitute x by 8 here, we get 64 plus 3, 67 doesn't belong to f. 67 doesn't belong to f. So for this reason, f of 8 is not defined. Determine the domain of definition of f. Remember that the domain of definition is the set in the initial set, is a subset in the initial set forming by the elements having images. Minus 2, 3, 5, and 6 have images by this function, but it doesn't have. So the domain of definition is formed by what? Minus 2, 3, 5, and 6. Another activity. In this activity, the initial set is R, the set of real numbers. Also, the final set is the set of real numbers. For this reason, f is called real function of a real variable. Okay? When the initial set is R and the final set is R, the function is called real function of a real variable. Clear? We are going to find the domain of definition of some functions. F of x equals 2 over x minus 1. If we calculate f of 3, we put x by 3, 2 over 3 minus 1. So this is 2 over 2 equals 1. F of 3 equals 1 is defined, etc. Every x, for every x, f of x is defined, but if x equals 1, f of 1 equals 2 over 1 minus 1, 2 over 0 is not defined. F is defined for any x not equal to 1. So what is the domain of the definition of f? How can we find its domain? F of 1 equals 2 over 1 minus 1 is defined, and any other value of x admits an image by f. The domain of definition is all the real numbers except what? Except 1. So we write minus infinity 1 union 1 plus infinity. F of x equal radical x minus 1. We know that radical of negative number does not exist. Okay? Let us see. X minus 1 should be greater or equal to 0. This function is defined if the quantity under the radical is greater or equal to 0. It means x greater or equal to 1. So what will be the domain of definition of f? Every real number from 1 to plus infinity. F of x equal x minus 1 over x squared minus 2x. This function is defined when x squared minus 2x is different from 0, because when the denominator is 0, the function is not defined. Number over 0 is not defined. X squared minus 2x different from 0, x different from 0, and x different from 2. We take x common factor, we get x into x minus 2. means x different from 0 and x different from 2. What will be the domain of definition? Every real number except 0 and 2. The domain of definition is from minus infinity to 0, then from 0 to 2, then from 2 to plus infinity. F of x equal radical x minus 1 into x plus 2. In this example, we have radical. So the quantity under the radical should be greater or equal to 0. X minus 1 into x plus 2 should be greater or equal to 0. When this quantity is greater or equal to 0, when x less or equal minus 2, or x greater or equal to 1. And the domain of definition will be from minus infinity to minus 2 included, then from 1 to plus infinity. Curve of a function. What is a curve of a function? Let us give the definition of the curve of a function in general. The curve of a function with respect to an orthonormal system is the set of points and of coordinates x, y in this system such that x in the domain of definition and y equals f of x. Then when we have a function, its curve is formed by the set of points and of coordinates x, y, where is x in the domain of definition of the function, and y should be equals f of x. Let us see. Then here in this case, the domain of definition is R. The domain of definition is R. Okay. F of 2, how to calculate f of 2? We have to substitute x by 2. F of 2 equals 5. يعني x equal 2 and y equals 5. y هي f of x. Okay? Then if x equals 2, y equals 5. We have a point A, 2, 5. This point is a point belonging to the curve of f. The point B, 2, 3 doesn't belong to the curve of f because 3 different from f of 2. If we calculate f of 2, it is 5 different from 3. Then this point does not belong to the curve of f. The point C, 3, 10 belongs to the curve of f of y because if we calculate f of 3, 3 squared plus 1 equals what? Equals 10. This is y, x and y. X belongs to the domain of definition and y equal f of x. 10 equal f of 3. 3 f of 3. 3 f of 3. It is a point belonging to the curve of f. If the point E minus 1, 0 on the curve of f, we calculate f of minus 1. If the answer is 0, it belongs. If not, doesn't belong. F of minus 1, if we substitute x by minus 1, it is 2, not 0, then the point does not belong to the curve. Okay, thank you for following and good luck.